So welcome to 10 with Tom. Tom's away, so it's once again 1 with Wayne. We're spending 10 minutes just to grow our faith, 10 minutes at a time. Last Sunday we started a series called Memento Mori, which means remember you will die. And it's not a morbid fascination with death, but rather an invitation to life, to be wise about how we spend every breath of our lives. So we're following Jesus towards the cross. We're 4 weeks away from Sunday and Easter Sunday. And so we're just watching Jesus as he predicts his death. And he does so 3 times. And each time he invites us into some deep thinking. This last Sunday he asked 2 questions of us. What does it profit a man? What does it profit a woman that he gain the whole world but lose his soul, right? And what would you exchange for your soul? These are deep questions, and just the definition of soul is difficult to kind of put into words. But soul is really when we integrate what we choose, our choices we make, we integrate what we think, the thinking of our minds, and then what we do with our bodies. So body, mind, and soul really comes all together. So a healthy soul chooses in line with what they think and acts in line with what they think. And a disintegrated soul is when that's all out of kilter. I think and believe one thing, but I act in a different way. And that just messes with us and messes with our life. So what I'd love us to do is, and I want to point you to Romans chapter 12. And you might just read this chapter in your own time, but I'm going to whiz through it quickly. Jesus says if you want to live, then you need to give up your life, your sense of self, and choose God's way. And here's a beautiful invitation to sacrifice, right? So Romans 12 says, therefore I urge you, brothers and sisters, in view of God's mercy, to offer your bodies as a living sacrifice. So you surrender, which is what Jesus was inviting his friends to do, is to surrender their lives, their bodies to the will and wonder of God. He goes on to say, do not conform any longer to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, what you think. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will. So here's a beautiful passage that says, get everything in line. Offer your bodies as a living sacrifice. Come to understand what God's will is. Be renewed in your mind. And this leads us to a healthy soul. So let's think a little bit together then. And I'm hoping that in this reflection, you will something will twig and you will want to act on it, not cough on it. So he goes on with very practical things. Love must be sincere, hate what is evil, and do what is good. We can't just be indifferent to evil things. And evil is very easy to define. It leads to destruction, broken relationships, disconnection with God, broken connection with our world. So in a sense, you can't be passive. Because if you're passive and indifferent, you will eventually do the evil things. So hate it. When you see it, root it out. Be devoted to one another in brotherly love. And sisterly love. This means devoted means I'm interested in your life, you know. Honor one another above yourselves. Here's an invitation to surrender again. Give more honor to others than you would give to yourself. It's a beautiful thing. Never be lacking in zeal, but keep your spiritual fervor serving the Lord. Here's a way in which we say, I have one thing to do with my life, which is to love God and to serve the Creator of the universe. Be joyful in hope, patient in affliction, faithful in prayer. Here's a call that even if my exterior world is out of sync, even as I am joyful in hope, my inner world, I can say it is well with my soul. Bless those who persecute you. Bless, do not curse. This is a tough one, right? We live in a world where it seems that there seems to be enemy around the corner, you know. But here's an invitation to counterintuitively bless those who curse you. Rejoice with those who rejoice. Someone curses you, you curse them. It's an escalating violence, right? But if someone curses you and you say, bless you, well, it just kind of we wish that would happen in Ukraine right now, right? Where instead of this escalating battle, there would be a mutual blessing, if you like. Live in harmony with one another. Do not be proud, but be willing to associate with people of low position. Do not be conceited. Here's another way where our soul is restored. We descend from pride to humility, and we discover that we live a far richer life. Do not repay anyone evil for evil. Be careful to do what is right in the eyes of everybody. If it is possible, as far as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone. I've loved this verse, and I've loved what people have done with it. They've quickly moved to, as far as it depends on you, meaning you do all you can, but sorry, too bad, they're not good enough. But rather, he has a beautiful invitation to live in harmony with one another. It's what our souls were designed to do. So we restore ourselves when we choose, when we think, and then we act in a harmonious way. I hope you see what's going on here. Do not take revenge, but leave room for God's wrath. For it's written, it is mine, I will repay, says the Lord. On the contrary, Paul says, if your enemy is hungry, feed him. If he's thirsty, give him something to drink. In doing this, you will heap burning coals on his head. It's kind of a funny thing there. Be kind to your enemies so that they burn, you know. It's crazy stuff. But in essence, it's suggesting again a de-escalation of violence. And your soul is enriched by that. So do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. Romans chapter 12 is a beautiful passage to meditate on and perhaps to read through regularly and ask God to pop into your mind what you need to work on specifically. And I have a sense that God, the deep soul of God, reaches to the depth of who you are and wants to bring great integrity in your life between what you think, what you choose, and how you behave. Bless you. Have an awesome week.